75. And complementary and supplementary. Have you heard those words? Okay, so here we go. Complementary angles are two angles, angle A plus B, that they add up to be 90. Those are, in fact, it's right here. Those are complementary. Two angles, and they measure them. Sometimes they'll say the measure of that symbol angle ABC. A to B will be the vertex, is where the two rays come together, and C, the measure of this angle, and the measure of DEF. The two of them, what's 35 and 55?
90.
90. So you can just write that here. It's when two angles add up together and they become 90 degrees. So I can say angle ABC is a complement of DEF. Okay. Then the other one is supplementary. So supplementary, this angle is 20. This one is 160. What do these two add up to be?
180.
180. So this is easy stuff today. And 180 degrees, if I put them together like this, they're 180 because they fall on a straight line. So any two angles on a straight line or any two angles separated that add up to be 180 are supplementary. And the only way that I can remember it is 90 is a lower number. It gets the lower letter in the alphabet. 180 is higher than the 190. Is higher than the 90. So it gets the higher letter in the alphabet.
Yes.
What's that?
Is it always going to add up to one of those?
Not always. And if it doesn't, then it's not complementary, or it wouldn't be. You can have different numbers. If they add up to be 180, they're supplementary. If they add up to be 90, it would be complementary.
What about like 95?
Okay, then guess what? Is that 90?
Yeah.
Okay. Is 95 90?
No.
Then no, it would not be complementary. It has to be equal to 90. So let's go on. So here we go. They're talking about different terms. Adjacent angles. It's my neighbor lives adjacent to me. They're right next door. Adjacent neighbors. Sometimes, in fact, in condominiums, they share a common wall, and adjacent angles will share a common side. Linear pair. Linear pair. What does this word imply right here? L-I-N-E, line. If they fall on a straight line. This is a linear pair. They're not only a linear pair, they are adjacent to each other. And they're not only adjacent. Who knows what these two angles add up to be? 180, because I don't even need to know the numbers because they fall on a line. Okay. And then vertical angles. Vertical angles, angle 1 and 3, where there's an intersection, are always congruent. That little sign means congruent. They're the same size. So 2 and 4 is congruent. In fact, on this one, I'm going to put some numbers. Let's suppose that this was 100. Who knows what the angle 3 would be?
100.
It would be 100. Now, I'm not going to tell you what angle 4 would be. Somebody tell me what they think angle 4 would be. Christian, what?
If that's 100, I'm guessing 200?
50.
Fred, what?
I was gonna say 50, but maybe like.
All right, here's another clue. 1, Sam, what?
Is it 45?
No. 1, okay, listen. 1 and 4 fall on a straight line. When it falls on a straight line, guess what the total number of degrees is going to be? 180. So if this is a straight line, 100 and what would be 180?
80.
40.
80.
If it's 40 on both sides, you add them up to be 180.
But
You're not
if you do
wrong.
200, does that add up to 200?
Okay,
40 plus 40?
okay, Christian. These two, I'm looking at these two that fall on a straight line. I'm looking for the two top. So it's 180 minus 100 is 80. This makes this 80. What would this one be then? It would be, because it's a vertical angle. Okay, Christian, be quiet. All right. Then, again, and just so, Christian, is also all angles in a circular rotation will always add up to be 360. In other words, 180 on this side, 180 on this side, all the way around, it's 360. So let's go through here. And it says, identify each pair of angles as complementary or supplementary. Write an equation. We're not going to write an equation. We don't have time. Is write an equation to justify your answer. Well, oh, there's, okay, never mind. These two, they add up to be 90, so therefore they are what? Complementary. So let's look at these two.
Supplementary.
And we're just going to put the total. What do these two add up to be?
180.
So just go ahead and show me some work here, those, because we're kind of doing that, but we're not doing the whole thing. So therefore, because they add up to be 180, they are what? And we'll just put that, supplementary. Then on this one, what do these two add up to be? And so therefore, two angles that add up to be 180 are what kind of angles? They're supplementary. Okay. Then, okay, shh, okay, quiet. Hold on, you listen carefully. Don't just talk to talk. We're looking at angles. Listen carefully. I'm looking at the angle A, E, D, and I'm looking at the B, E, C. They're across from each other, so they are called what? Because vertical angles, aside from being across from each other, are all also what? They're also congruent. They're both 45 degrees. They're vertical, they're across from each other. In fact, I need to put that. They are vertical angles.
What's that little line above the
So it's not supplement? So it's not complementary?
No, it's vertical.
Well, okay, hold on a second.
It's about.
Okay, just, Christian. Hey, shh. So, okay, actually there is more to it. These are vertical angles, okay, and they're across from each other. However, if I added them, what would they add up to be?
90.
So they are also what?
A complement.
They're also complementary. Okay. So they're all those things. Then over here, use the figure at the right. Fred, be quiet. What is the measure of 4? Okay, so hold on a second. Here is 1. Here is 4. They both lie on a straight line. If they lie on a straight line, how could I find this missing angle?
Yeah, just
180.
180 minus what? Minus the 27. Is it 5? Yes, it's 153. So this one would be 153. So this is 153. In fact, what is the angle 2? I thank you, Mason. Okay. So this one would also be 153. Who knows what the angle 3 would be?
27.
20, because it's a congruent vertical angle, 27. So which angle is congruent to angle 4? Angle 2. Which angles are supplements of angle 3? Which one's a supplement to angle 3?
2.
It would be 2, and it would also be 4. So it would be, I would say angle 3 plus angle 4 are supplementary angles, and also angle 3,
Oh, yeah, it's 2 and 4.
and also 3 and 2.
No.
Doesn't 3 and 4 add up to be 180?
Yes.
Yes. Doesn't 3 and 2 add up to be 180? That's fine. Okay. So these are the two that add up to be 180. They are supplements of each other. Let's go on. What is the sum of all 4 of them? We could do that mentally. 360. Okay.
Wait. Number 6. I'm number 6. 7. How was it? Oh, and no.
All right. So yeah, because those are vertical angles. Then down here, now this picture is really important. Have you ever seen that picture before, something like it? Okay. It's a protractor. But, okay. And we want to measure, let's go ahead and measure the G to O to B, and you need to know how to do it. So, okay, Christian, stop talking. So here's G to O. Okay, can I finish, Sam? So G to O to B. Now, some of you haven't used this, but where you always start, if I'm starting at the G, you always start at the 0. It might be the top row, it might be the bottom row, but this right here, this G is at the 0 is at the top, so you go all the way around to the B, and in this case, what is that B right here?
145.
Yeah, because we passed half of that is 90, and that's an obtuse angle. It is 145. So that one is 145. They're going to get a little bit harder in just a second. Then we're going to do I'll do a G one again. GOF. This one should be easy. From G to O to F. Do I start at the 180 or do I start at the 0?
0.
You start at the 0. And so 10, 20, and you're right, in between that is the 25. Okay, Sam, wait. We don't have a lot of time. So then let's do the DOG is the same thing. It's the same thing as GOD. So on that one, G to O to D. In fact, who can tell what that is? Yeah, it goes, I'm sorry. It starts at 0, goes all the way to the D, and that is a perfect right angle. It is 90 degrees. And then, okay, so BOE. So now they want, here's the B. Now, so this one's different. You need to listen. This one, you're not starting at a 0 point. This is B to O is the vertex to E. So now listen carefully. Listen carefully. You either take your top numbers. So what's this top number right here? 60. Go over here. What's this top number right here?
145.
And you subtract them. So you take 145 minus 60. And so that's going to be 14 minus 6 is that 80? Okay. Or, listen carefully, or you can take the bottom two numbers. So my bottom number here, watch how they're different numbers and it's going to come out the same. Or I take the 120 and I subtract the, what is this bottom one?
45.
40, is it 45 or 35?
30.
It's 35. So 120 minus 35, and that is going to be, again, 85. So no matter how you do it, taking both of the bottom ones and subtract, taking both of the top ones, you'll come out with the same number. So that is 85 degrees. Who knows another way that you might do it? Okay, because I'm going from the E to the B. No, I'm just going to count. Here's 60. Here's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and then 5 more is 85. So there's 3 different ways you can do it. Then the COF. Now see if you can get your COF. C to O to F. What's that? Did you get 85 again?
Yes.
On COF? Okay, so here's F. So I'm going to take I'll take on this, here's the C. So this over here is 25. And the top one on the C is 110. And so that comes to Yeah, that comes to 85. And again, I could have taken the bottom one, which is 35. That's COF. Okay. Hold on. Yeah. So here, the bottom one on the COF is 70. And on the bottom one here is 155. 155 minus 70, which is 85. Same thing. Or I could have counted. Okay, very good. Okay, and flip it over. Okay. Alrighty. All right, so what is the measure? Oh, this is a good one. So let's look at this carefully. They gave you 140. Okay, Christian, stop playing with what you're doing. And they gave you this one here that's 24. They want you to find the measure of angle 2. What I'm always going to look for is, do either of those or both of them lie on a straight line? Fred, what? Yes, in fact, where's this? Here's, okay. The straight line is not going, I have to use my pencil, is not this one, because I don't know what 6 is, but my straight line is under the 24. I don't have an eraser. It would be
45.
Okay. These 3 angles, this one, and this one, falls on a straight line. So a straight line is always how many degrees?
180.
180. Well, let's see how many of them we know. Don't we know the 140?
Yeah.
And do we know this one's 24? So guess what I should do with those 2? Add those up. That is 164. And then how do I find the missing one? Subtract it. 16. So this one here is 16 degrees, such that if I went back and I added those, it would be 180. So this one is 16. What angle is vertical to the angle number 3? Which one is across from it?
5.
And it is the 6. So right across from it, it is the 6. If you said 5, what's across from the 5?
2.
Is the 2. So this one is angle 6. Which angles share a vertex? A vertex is, well, but it says, which one shares a vertex with angle 3? All of them, yeah, all. Okay. Which angle is not adjacent and not vertical to 1? So if it's not adjacent, it can't be 6 and 2, because those are adjacent. And it's not across. 5 and, you just said it, Sam. What is it? 5 and 3. Okay. So angle 5 and 3. This says, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that right now. Okay, let's go down to this one. All right. Let's see what we know about this. Who knows the measure of this angle right here? Right here.
45 degrees.
Dude.
90. It's not 90.
People,
Oh, wait, no, that's not.
isn't this an intersection?
Yeah.
And don't they give you this measure right here?
53.
So what does this measure?
53.
It's 53. It's a vertical angle. So put your little 53 here. Okay. And what do they want to know? E, Z, D. E to Z to D. We'll get there. Okay. Oh, yeah. In fact, E to Z to D. E to Z to D. How do you know it's 90?
It's right adjacent to the 90.
Well, it's vertical to that 90. So you're right. So it would be also a 90 degree. So it is 90 degrees. Okay. What is the measure of D? Okay, we're almost there. We can get this. D to X to C. Going to C. Now, listen carefully. D to X to C. Well, we already know, pull out that little triangular shape. We already know that this angle is 53 by vertical angles. This angle is 90 by right angle. So how can we find that missing angle of a triangle? Every triangle is how many degrees?
180.
180. So add these two up. There you go. So it's going to be 180 minus 143, which would be what?
37.
Just 37 degrees. Alrighty.
Actually, that means a square is 360.
What?
That means a square is 360. It has 490.
Yes, it is. Actually, every quad.
No.
It's not a circle.
It has sides.
Okay.
How many?
That's a right angle. A circle does not have a right angle.
Then what's the sum of a circle? How many degrees? A sum of a square, how many degrees? A circle is a square. No. One has mathematically. One has 4 right triangles. A circle has 0. Can you get right triangles?
Okay, guys, stop. Let's go on. Okay, so what do these two add up to?
90.
No.
Oh, 100.
So are those complementary, supplementary, or neither? Neither. What do these add up to?
180.
So they are what? Supplementary. What do these add up to? 135? So are they supplementary, complementary, or neither? They're neither?
That's 200.
Yeah, so this is neither, we can already tell. This adds up to 90, so it is what?
Complementary.
Complementary. These two add up to, is that 180?
180 supplementary.
Supplementary. So let's see if you can fit, oh, this is easy.
Wait, what was
180C.
S.
S, my dude.
Alrighty, so girls and boys, this is easy. All you're going to do is find the measure of the angle that is complementary to this one. If they're complementary, what do they have to add up to be?
180.
90.
What?
Complementary comes before supplementary. Find the angle that's supplementary. Two angles have to add to what to be supplementary?
180.
180. So I'm just going to do a couple of these. What's the complement if one of the angles is 20 degrees?
70.
70. And you can do the puzzle or you can just check it off. On this one, what's the complement to 67? 23. And then go down, you're going to do the rest. What is the supplement to a 120 degree angle? 60. Such that when you put them here, they should add up to 180. What's the supplement to 56 degree angle?
124.
124, very good. And then you can find your answers later. Now, listen carefully. Now you're going to find down here all of the missing angles. Who knows how I can find this missing angle right here? They add up to 90 because right next to it, this is a right angle, so this is a right angle. You better know how to subtract 90 minus 60, Mr. Matthew. 30. Okay, thank you.
What else to answer?
Okay, so 90 minus 60 is, that would be 30. Then, same thing on this one. If this is 90, what do these two angles add up to be? No, what do they add? They add up to be 90.
180.
These two here, this one and this one,
Oh, no. I have to be 90.
they add up to be 90. So who knows the missing angle?
62.
It is 62.
Wait, what? Oh.
Okay. I'll leave that one for you to do because that's simple.
Can I see the other one that you were doing?
They're right here. All right. Now these lie on a straight line. If they lie on a straight line, what should they add up to be?
180.
180. So to find one of them, I just have to subtract that from
108.
minus 72. And what is that?
108.
108.
69. No, wait, 68.
Okay, shh. So, and double check to see if they add up to 180. And again, find your answer later. Who knows what this is going to be?
74.
That's too high. 64.
Oh, I thought that was the 106.
And then I'll let you do the rest. Okay. And the rest of these, again, this is, in fact, we'll do these two. These three are just a review of what we just did. So what is this one right here? Who knows this angle right here?
43.
43, because Both of those together are 90 degrees complementary. Who knows what these two angles add up to be?
180.
So subtract 35 from 180,
145?
145.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, it is. Just look. Oh, yeah.
Okay, it is there. Okay, then flip it over, and then, yeah, and then again, you're going to finish this D30. You'll finish all that. They're simple, easy as pie. And then, okay, shh. All right, then, this is easy. Complete these answers. And I'm not going to, you're going to have some of these answers more than once. If you want to do the decoding, you can. I'm not going to ask that you do that. Two angles are complementary if their sums are what? 90. They're supplementary if their sums are what? 180. The complement of a 30-degree angle is what? 60. The supplement of a 65-degree angle is what?
158.
Yeah, 180 minus the 65, which is 115. And then this is basically the same thing. Finding all of these angles by virtue of supplementary, by virtue of complementary, by virtue of a straight line, by virtue of vertical angles. So in fact, let's look at this one. What is number 8? 80. Well, if that's 80, who knows what number 9 is?
Wait, no, 100.
It has to be 100 because a straight line makes 180. So this is 100. What would 7 be? 100 because they are vertical.
Yeah. 180 plus 180?
And yeah, so 180 and 180 is the 360. I'm going to go straight down. So how do we find this angle, this 16?
You add up the angle.
90.
No.
Well, these two together
Plus 90.
add up to be 90. So I would just take 90. They're just saying this is angle problem 15, problem 16, problem 16, problem 15. That's not the degree of the measure. All right, so in this, we're looking for this angle right here. How do I find it?
Add, subtract.
Subtract it from 90, yeah, because I see the 90 degrees, so these two have to be 90. And what is that going to be?
I don't know, I just got here.
52.
Is it 52? And again, just kind of make sure that your answer is there and put a little check by it. Then you shouldn't be confused. If that's the right angle, and that's a straight line, these two right next to it would be a right angle. Or this is 90, right next to it would be 90, such that they add up to be 180. I'm finding this angle right here. So these two are 90. 90 minus the one you have is 52. I'll show you in a second. So look at this one right here. And again, that 20, 21, and 22 are just the problem numbers, so just ignore those. I'm going to do this one here first because I know that this is a straight line. So these two add up to be 180. What is that going to be? It's going to be a 60. And just make sure a 60 is there. Okay. Okay. Then, in fact, I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to go across this way. Isn't this another straight line?
Yeah.
So, in fact, I can find this two ways. So this is a straight line. So 120 plus what makes 180?
660.
And I also could have done it by the fact that these are vertical. They're right across each other. So the only one that we have to get, let me see if somebody can get it, is this one right here. I'm going to look for,
120.
30.
nope,
144.
30. 30.
it's going to be 30.
Good job.
Because this is a straight line. We already know that this is 9.
This is already 90.
Okay, can I finish, please? Is if I'm using the straight line method, this is 90, this one's 60, 90 and 60 is 150. So that missing one would be 180 minus the 150. So this would be 30.
You put 15 instead of 50.
90 and 60 is 150.
Yeah, why is it?
It's 150. Okay. All right. Or I could have done it that these two alone without even looking at the line. these two alone are 90 degrees because this is 90 degrees. So 30 and 60 is 90. All right, let's do one more hard one and then I'm gonna let you do it. Actually,
Go in the middle, go in the middle.
this one,
Yes.
it shouldn't be bad. How many degrees do I know all three of these angles are?
54, I mean. That's a lot of angles.
90, they all have to add up to
Thank you. They all have to add up to 90 because here is a straight line, and if this is 90, then I can put a right angle right here. Again, if you have an intersection and one's 90, all of them all the way around are 90. So if all three of those are 90, and I know one of them's 30 and one of them is 24, how can you find the missing?
Subtract that from 90.
We'll subtract what?
You're supposed to add 24.
Thank you. You add those up first, so that is 54. So 90 minus 54 is
46.
it 46 or 36?
36.
And then double check, make sure I did my, yep, that 36 is there. So this one is 36.
Wait, how do you do number 17?
Same thing. Again, okay, watch carefully. If I have an intersection, and that's a right angle, who knows what this angle is?
90.
It's also a right angle. What about this angle?
90.
It's also a right angle. What about this one?
90.
So don't you have an intersection right here? So aren't all of these 90 degrees?
Yes.
So how can you find the 17? 90.
23 equals 90, and that one's 90.
So this one is 90 minus 67. So that's 23, and I'm going to double check, make sure I have it over here. And then 18 is no work at all.
90.
It's 90 because that's a perfect right angle.
I'll save yourself.
Okay,
Okay, so you guys finish those four and finish anything we didn't do on this other, and then we're done. It's not that hard. Yes.
That is good.